Greetings to all our IMAPS clients and investors. Let me walk you through the latest changes made during the third week of April. The Trump administration has rattled markets with a broad range of political measures that have triggered a spike in volatility, ranging from tariff policy, immigration, fiscal spending, government efficiency, relationships among NATO members, negotiations to bring an end to the Russia-Ukraine war. A whole suite of initiatives had been set into motion, although the exact contours of the endpoint remain elusive. The Trump administration has made reshaping the bilateral trade between the US and China a key pillar of its mandate, imposing hefty tariffs to force the Chinese government to negotiate more favorable commercial terms. While the final net economic impact of the previously mentioned government measures are yet to be determined, an overall negative reaction across the economy and markets have dominated Q1. For the first time since 2022, the US has registered a GDP contraction, together with a sharp increase in its trade deficit, although the latter is perceived to be temporary. To a certain extent, the market is counting on the premise that the softer economic data, coupled with well-anchored inflation expectations, will allow the Fed to come to the rescue. Nevertheless, a mild spike in inflation or a persistence of the sticky inflation might tie the hands of the Fed, as well as its ability to react decisively to prevent further deterioration of economic activity. According to our subjective recessionary model, the probability of a mild US recession within the next 6 months has increased from around 15% in February to 55% in April. Other third-party market observers and research firms concur that growth risks are rising. A more unpredictable market environment justifies taking a more defensive approach to better position the portfolios to weather increasing recessionary risk. Within equities, we have reduced most volatility positions, more precisely small and mid-cap equities, which typically tend to have a higher price variation relative to the large-cap sector. Hence, they are more sensitive to an economic downturn. The proceeds were rotated into large-cap equities. Within the large-cap space, we have chosen a rather defensive portfolio with balanced allocation spread within the different S&P 500 sectors, instead of following the market-weighted S&P 500 dominated by information technology. The objective is to have a more resilient, less volatile portfolio. To account for, as well as compensating for, current market action whose main direction so far has been lateral to down, we have introduced a large-cap covered call strategy. The objective is to increase income generation from a reference S&P 500 dividend yield of 1.25% per annum to 7.5% provided by the covered call strategy. The excess yield provides an additional layer of cushioning where the additional income will help to compensate in case of further market declines. Furthermore, to reduce portfolio volatility and market exposure, we have increased our cash holdings by 5%. The objective is to be less exposed to market moves while saving dry powder to redeploy at better levels if a recession materializes. We continue to monitor market developments and asset prices to assess our next moves. Ever mindful capital preservation is paramount. Nevertheless, we will also actively assess economic activity, trade negotiations, and geopolitical risk in order to redeploy capital into risky assets if the current administration's successful implementation of its political agenda spurs a rebound in economic activity. We hope you are well, and as always, please reach out to your financial advisor or investment professional with any questions you may have. Thank you.